Before we proceed to the next section of rituals involving the invocation of the sub-angles and the proper conjuration of the magical weapons, let us pause a moment to discuss the magical tools as they appear in some of our favorite books. In the Crowley Mother's Goetia, also known as the Lesser Key of Solomon, no tools are described in the main preparatory text except for the brass vessel assumed to be an incense burner, the ring, and the various lamellae and pentacles. Until suddenly, out of nowhere, mid-ritual, you are told to put the sigil of the spirit in a small iron box wrapped in chain hanging from a sword. Holy salt and water are mentioned, however a dish and cup are not specified. Moving on to the Greater Key of Solomon, an incense burner is mentioned, but this one is made of earth and mentioned only in one ritual involving a circle for the consecration of pentacles. It is here that the form of the tools starts to become more recognizable. We have a white knife for operations of the art and a black knife for casting circles. There is also a short lance for casting circles, and it is mentioned that swords are commonly used in magical rituals, however the precise usage is not mentioned. Holy salt and water are mentioned, but the cup and disc are not specified. Wands have specified materials but no specific listed purpose. The burin or needle is a combination awl and engraving tool. However, its precise purpose is not mentioned. The sickle is probably for resource gathering, but the purpose of the dagger, scimitar, and stiletto remain unclear. Many other tools are also mentioned, but only in text, such as pens, inks, and so on. As you can see in this setup, we have way too many swords, too many wands, and no cup or pentacle. In Israel Regardie's Golden Dawn, the form is becoming much more recognizable with 6 magical tools. In this format, there are 2 wands and 2 swords, as we will see. A lotus wand for invoking planets and zodiacs, and a fire wand for specifically working with the specific element of fire. The cup has been elevated from a mere object to hold holy water to the Holy Grail itself. There is a sword for banishing, which is given a Mars attribute, whereas the air knife is much like the fire wand, specifically for working with elemental air. The pentacle has been elevated to a complicated and mysterious symbol of earth, replacing the salt. Other tools are mentioned as well, such as the rose, cross, and triangle. And finally, we come to our 2 good friends, Waite and Crowley, who have given us the first real incarnation of the 4 weapons as a distilled idea. And even then, there are 5. In the weight tarot, he has combined the two wands into one staff. He has also combined the sword and the knife into one. However, on the Magician card, the Magician is holding a strange other wand that looks somewhat like the Fire Wand. Crowley has also combined our wands and combined our swords. However, in Crowley's version, the incense burner has made a comeback as the secret fifth elemental tool of spirit. Other tools are mentioned as well, such as a lamp, layman, and even the circle and altar are considered tools. As you can see, the tools are represented with some vagary. This finally brings us to our own set of tools, assembled under the criteria that the tools must have practical physical function and purpose. Our wands have been combined into one fire stick, the lighter, which is a phallic object with obvious fire attribute. The cup's presence is obvious as it is used to hold water. The knife as well, combined with the sword, whose purpose is obvious. After all, ritual operations do include the casting of the circle, as well as whatever white knife crafting operations you might use. Since the knife is being used to cast circles, just be aware to keep your knife clean, sharp, and rust-free. The plate is a space holder for holding the prima materia to be used in a ritual, be it salt, incense, sacrifices, crafting materials, crystals, or what have you. The ashtray as well is basically the same thing as an incense burner.